Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Injury weakened 76ers aim to halt Lakers' win streak. Riding their longest winning streak since before Thanksgiving, the Los Angeles Lakers will take a 4-game run of success into a road matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday. The Lakers began the East Coast portion of a 6-game road trip Monday with a 112-107 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. Los Angeles opened a 23-point lead less than 8 minutes into the game before surviving a scare. The extended run of road games comes as the Grammy Awards takes its annual residency inside the Lakers' home arena. Anthony Davis had 21 points and 11 rebounds in the first quarter for Los Angeles on Monday and finished with season highs of 42 points and 23 boards while playing 37 minutes on the first night of a back-to-back. He pulled down 8 offensive rebounds. It was his 5th career 40-20 game, tied for the 9th most in NBA history and the most among active players. He put in 2 days of work tonight, Lakers coach J.J. Redick said. He just carried us all night. We moved him around, he played with force. I thought his hands and touch and just the pursuit of the basketball on the offensive glass was just awesome. LeBron James added 22 points, 8 assists and 7 boards in 36 minutes for the Lakers, who are 6-1 since January 15 and 8 games over .500 for the first time this season. Los Angeles was without Rui Hachimura, calf, and Gabe Vincent, knee. In his second game of the season, after recovering from injuries to both feet, Jared Vanderbilt had 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals in 13 minutes off the Los Angeles bench. Vanderbilt also makes big contributions on the defensive end. Our offense is not going to be there every night, but we can control our defense every single night, Davis said. The only longer winning streak for the Lakers this season was a 6-game run from November 8 to 19 that started with a 116-106 home victory over the 76ers. James produced 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in that contest. The 76ers have won consecutive games for the first time in the calendar year, pulling off a 132-129 victory over the Eastern Conference-leading Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, before earning a 109-97 road victory against the Chicago Bulls on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey logged 31 points and 9 assists for Philadelphia at Chicago, while Kelly Oubre Jr. compiled 22 points and 12 rebounds. Before their consecutive victories, the 76ers were 2-10 going back to January 1. The skid largely coincided with the absence of Joel Embiid, knee, who has missed the past 11 games and already has been ruled out for Tuesday. Not making things any better on the injury front is a jammed left pinky for Paul George, who departed the Saturday game and will not play on Tuesday. Kyle Lowry, hip, returned against the Bulls after missing the previous 10 games, and he had 2 points and 2 assists in 15 minutes. Injured forwards Caleb Martin, hip, and KJ Martin, foot, returned to practice this week, but neither will play against the Lakers. You guys hear this from me all the time, but I'll say it again: see who's there, figure out the matchups, figure out the game plan, figure out the rotations and go from there, 76ers coach Nick Nurse said. And we'll play as hard as we can and as well as we can. Rob Gronkowski to Shaq on proposed fight: look how slow you are, bro. Late last year, retired NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal added his 2 cents to the world of cross-promotional boxing between different leagues, such as the NFL and NBA. When asked about who he would box, Shaq's #1 target was none other than 4-time Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski. The Gronk vs. Shaq boxing match first surfaced during the buzz that developed due to the Jake Paul/Mike Tyson fight. The chatter has been one-sided, as it is all coming from Shaq. That was until Gronk touched on the topic during an episode of his and Julian Edelman's show, Dudes on Dudes, and fully accepted the challenge from the former Los Angeles Laker. The former receiving targets of Tom Brady were watching a clip of NBA on TNT during this week's episode. The hosts of the famous basketball show were doing their best three-point football stances while they joked around on set. First off, your three-point stance looks like sh*T, Charles, Gronk said while watching Charles Barkley attempt to play football in the NBA on TNT Studio. Then Gronk got into Shaq's challenge. Shaq wants to fight me. Shaq, look how slow you are, bro. I accept that fight right now. Anywhere, anytime, any place. It looks like the potential battle of the former big man of the NBA and NFL is on. Gronk would then sum up the topic of the potential boxing match by saying, "I'm fighting you, I accept." To go a step further, a few months back Gronk actually named the price tag to compete in boxing with the NBA great. It seems within reason. Keep in mind the video below was prior to him accepting a fight. "I actually would fight Shaq in a boxing match," Gronk said on Dudes. "Here's the thing, I would never do the UFC stuff, no matter what the payment is, no matter how much money it is. But I would box someone if the money was right, no doubt about it. At least $12 million, minimum." The playful bit of competition is something we've seen out of both of these guys over the last few months, but if it's going to go down, then let's see this thing happen. If it were to happen, who you got? Gronk in 3 rounds? Or does Shaq have one great big left jab in him to level the former Patriots tight end in one shot in the first round? Or can they go the distance to a split decision? To the boxing promoters of the world, make this one happen. LeBron James on playing in a pickup game with Michael Jordan when he was 16, "I was unguardable." We oftentimes wonder what it would have been like to see prime Michael Jordan taking on prime LeBron James in a basketball game. This is the closest we will ever get to it. Travis and Jason Kelce's New Heights podcast indeed did reach new heights this week when they had James on their show. The key moment of the episode was when James discussed a pickup game that involved Jordan and a few other NBA players. Keep in mind that when this happened, James was only 16 years old. The pickup game also featured Antoine Walker, Penny Hardaway, Ron Artest, and Michael Finley. James spoke to the Kelce brothers about rising to the occasion to play on the same court as some of the NBA greats. "Who guarded you?" Travis Kelce asked. "Nobody, I'm unguardable," James replied. The Lakers' power forward's answer created a laugh among the 3 men. James celebrated his 40th birthday this past December, and Jordan is now 62. It's crazy to think of these 2 men, who have constantly been in the GOAT conversation for the last 30 years, being on the court at the same time. James, whose talent had him skip college and go straight to the NBA, must have known that if he was going to be the new king of the court, he had to hold his own against the one who many feel is the greatest to ever do it. Of course, James thinks he's unguardable. That kind of confidence is needed when you're around greatness like that. However, he did admit to some nerves when he stepped on the court. "When I finally got out there, I was like, I'm busting a dot. I was nervous. I was nervous as hell, being out there with MJ and the rest of those guys. But I was like, oh, I'm about to go crazy. And I did." "I did," James told the Kelces. Yes, it was just a pickup game, but any sports fan knows that the chance to see those 2 on the court at the same time must have been incredible if you happened to accidentally be a spectator. James and the Lakers are currently 6th in the West and host the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow night. Philadelphia hosts Los Angeles following Davis's 42-point game. Los Angeles takes on the Philadelphia 76ers after Anthony Davis scored 42 points in the Lakers' 112-107 win against the Charlotte Hornets. The 76ers have gone 7-13 at home. Philadelphia has a 7-17 record in games decided by 10 or more points. The Lakers have gone 10-12 away from home. Los Angeles is 7th in the Western Conference, with 26.4 assists per game led by LeBron James averaging 9.0. The 76ers score 108.1 points per game, 4.5 fewer points than the 112.6 the Lakers give up. The Lakers are shooting 47.6% from the field, 1% lower than the 48.6% the 76ers opponents have shot this season. Top performers: Tyrese Maxey is averaging 26.6 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals for the 76ers. Kelly Oubre Jr. is averaging 16.1 points over the last 10 games. James is averaging 23.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 9 assists for the Lakers. Davis is averaging 25.0 points and 11.9 rebounds while shooting 54.4% over the last 10 games. Last 10 games, 76ers, 3-7, averaging 110.5 points, 35.5 rebounds, 23.8 assists, 8.1 steals, and 4.0 blocks per game while shooting 46.2% from the field. Their opponents have averaged 118.1 points per game. Lakers, 6-4, averaging 109.3 points, 40.6 rebounds, 26.1 assists, 7.1 steals, and 5.2 blocks per game while shooting 48.9% from the field. Their opponents have averaged 108.7 points. Injuries: 76ers, Joel Embiid, out, foot; Jared McCain, out for season, meniscus; Caleb Martin, out, groin; Andre Drummond, out, toe; Gershon Yabusele, day-to-day, knee; KJ Martin, out, foot. Lakers, Christian Wood, out, knee; Rui Hachimura, day-to-day, calf; Gabe Vincent, day-to-day, knee; Jalen Hood-Schifino, day-to-day, hamstring. Aussies abroad: Green, Giddey impact for NBA sides. Australian Josh Green and his Charlotte Hornets had no answer as Anthony Davis had 42 points and 23 rebounds to lead the Los Angeles Lakers to a 5-point win in their NBA clash in North Carolina. The Lakers used a huge first quarter from All-Star center Davis to build a 23-point lead before beating the Hornets 112-107 on Monday night, Tuesday AEDT, for their 4th straight win. LeBron James had 22 points and Austin Reeves chipped in 17 for the Lakers, 26-18, who never trailed. Miles Bridges had 26 points for the Hornets, 12-31, who lost LaMelo Ball in the second quarter to a left ankle injury after he stepped on Jared Vanderbilt's foot as he backpedaled down the court after draining a 3-point jumper off one foot. Aussie Green contributed 15 points, 1 rebound and 1 assist for the home side. It was supposed to be a celebratory night for the Hornets in a game that was aired on free, local over-the-air TV throughout the Carolinas for the first time since the 2007-2008 season, giving them a chance to potentially capture a new audience. But it didn't go as planned. Davis scored 21 points in the first quarter on 9 of 12 shooting to go along with 11 rebounds as the Lakers bolted to a 39-19 lead. In Chicago, Australian Josh Giddey played his part as the Bulls held off the Denver Nuggets 129-121. Giddey had 12 points, 4 rebounds and 10 assists as the Bulls, 20-27, handed the Nuggets, 28-18, their second straight loss. Nikola Vucevic had 20 points, 10 rebounds and 6 assists for Chicago, while Zach LaVine scored 21 points and Lonzo Ball had 18 for the Bulls, who had lost 7 of 8. Denver wasted another impressive performance by Nikola Jokic, who had 33 points, 14 assists and 12 rebounds in his 6th triple-double in his past 7 games. The 3-time MVP has an NBA best 21 triple-doubles this season. In Cleveland, Darius Garland scored 22 points and Donovan Mitchell added 21 as the Cavaliers snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 110-91 win over the Detroit Pistons. Cleveland, 37-9, who have led the Eastern Conference from the start, ended their mini-slump with an 11th straight win over Detroit. Jarrett Allen had 15 points and Evan Mobley 14 rebounds for Cleveland. Cade Cunningham scored 22 points and Malik Beasley 19 for Detroit. Jalen Duren had 12 points and 15 rebounds for the Pistons, who have 23 wins after going 14-68 last season. In New York, Mikal Bridges had 28 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds as the Knicks snapped the Memphis Grizzlies' 6-game winning streak with a resounding 143-106 win. Karl-Anthony Towns had 24 points and 11 rebounds, and Jalen Brunson had 20 points and 6 assists for the Knicks, who scored 143 points for the second straight game and won their fourth straight. New York, 31-16, won for the 16th time in their past 22 games. Jaren Jackson Jr. scored 21 points for Memphis, also 31-16, and Desmond Bane chipped in 16. In other results, the Houston Rockets scored a surprise 114-112 win on the road against the Boston Celtics, and the Miami Heat beat the Orlando Magic 125-117 in double overtime. The Raptors accounted for the New Orleans Pelicans 113-104 in Toronto, the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the visiting Atlanta Hawks 100-92, and the Dallas Mavericks breezed past the NBA worst Washington Wizards 130-108. Devin Booker, 26 points, and Kevin Durant, 24 points, starred in the Phoenix Suns' 111-109 win over the LA Clippers, while Utah lost 110-125 at home to the Milwaukee Bucks, with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard each scoring 35 points. Lakers predicted to land Warriors star in potential blockbuster deal. The Los Angeles Lakers are expected to be big players as the highly anticipated NBA trade deadline approaches. We are less than 2 weeks away from the February 6 trade deadline, and many expect Los Angeles to make a trade or two to bolster their roster. While that is the case, league sources suggest that they are expected to stand pat or make a move around the margins. If the Lakers were to take that route, it would not help their chances of making a deep playoff run. LA needs to make a big roster change, and in this trade idea, they turn to their division rival for a massive defensive upgrade. This hypothetical trade has the Lakers landing former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. Here's how the deal would work using SpotTrack. Lakers receive, Draymond Green. Warriors receive, Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Green, 34, is still a productive player who can guard all 5 positions. He could be vital to the Lakers, especially on defense, where he excels the most. This type of trade may not raise the Lakers' title odds, but it would certainly improve their frontcourt defense with a potential duo of Green and Anthony Davis. It would certainly be the best defensive frontcourt duo. In addition, the Lakers appease Davis by getting an elite defensive frontcourt player. Green may not be a center, as Davis was vocal about in his conversation with ESPN's Shams Charania. However, Green plays big and would be a huge help for Davis and the entire defense. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Draymond Green? Leave your opinion in the comments.